Hello guys, welcome to another edition of Isco World. Here we'll discuss about football and other related issues. Indeed, in today's video, we'll actually be talking about Chelsea transfer activities that was done over the weekend. But before we move forward, I would like you to like the video, share and subscribe, and also click the bell notification so that you can be notified when we paste any other video. Then I want your comment over everything we're going to discuss. Now let's start with a good news for Chelsea. They completed the signing of a Monaco defender in the person of Axel Disasi. He's a right CB, played for France. If you watched the last World Cup in Qatar and you were able to see France game, you will definitely see this guy in action. Now, he had some attributes that I think will be suitable for Chelsea in their defensive setup, because I see that he's actually a powerful lad and he has a good ball playing ability. The technique with which he plays the ball is actually very good, and I think that is actually going to help do some cover in that RCB for Chelsea, and he signed for 45 million euros. And that means that there's actually going to be the hand of Shaloba, because now he has been able to accept his fate that is surplus to requirement in the Chelsea team. Initially, he was trying to see if he can be able to put up a good shift to fight for his place. But with this acquisition, he has been able to understand that, okay, I can see that, yes, my future does not lie in this team. Now, let me actually go and look for another team to play. I think one team I want to suggest for him is that West Ham. This lad is actually a good lad. If you can actually cash for him, definitely he can help out with respect to your defense. Now, Chelsea value Chalobah for £45 million. That's a smart one from Chelsea. They are signing Disasi for €45 million, and they are valuing their own player for £45 million. But one thing is that there's a variation with respect to their age. Disasi is 25 and Chalobah is actually 22 or 23 thereabouts. So anybody that will be able to get him, he has good Premier League experience. He's actually going to put a good shift for that team. Now, people are saying that Disasi is slow, but one thing I don't really understand is that for a CB, you don't necessarily need to have you don't necessarily need to be a sprinter, because they are not wingers, neither are they attackers. All they need to do, yes, they need to cover a short distance quick. That's actually what they need, because they are mainly their main attribute is to have a high IQ and be able to see the game from wherever they are, from the defensive play, to know if actually they have to progress or they have to retrogress. So that's actually that for Chelsea. We'll be able to see what fully this guy is all about. Now let's talk about another target for Chelsea. I saw that they are going for Robert Sanchez, the goalkeeper from Brighton. Now, Chelsea, I want to ask, are you guys not tired doing business with Brighton? Or is Brighton now technically going to be your feeder team? Because the deal you're trying to close with Brighton for Moise Caicedo, you guys have not been able to close that deal. So I don't understand this one. You're still going back to Brighton. Or are Chelsea trying to play smart one here? Because this one that Brighton, they are saying that they demand £100 million from Chelsea. Could it be that Chelsea is actually trying to say, okay, if these guys are saying they want £100 million, can we just add Sanchez into the deal and pay Brighton the £100 million? Well, it's just a speculation out of the moon. Let's see how it's going to be. Now, Brighton wants this player to go, but at the same time, you know how difficult it is with Brighton dealing with them. They always overrate their players, and the value for their players is actually very, very high. Well, that is because other teams, they need them. So let's see how that deal is actually going to unfold. And Chelsea fans, I want you to actually leave your comments. If Chelsea finally acquire Sanchez, between Sanchez and Kepa, who do you think should be the number one? Because to me, I'm just thinking that maybe Chelsea is signing this lad to bring a good competition between him and Kepa. But Chelsea fans, I want you to tell me, who do you think should be the number one? Now, let's talk about another saga, and that is one player that every Chelsea fans, they are tired of talking about. Who? Guess? I think you guessed right. Lukaku. Now, he's one striker that Chelsea signed for 100 million euros, and we could see all the shenanigans this guy is actually putting. Initially, he wants to go to Inter Milan. From Inter Milan, he finally decided to break and destroy that connection with Inter Milan, and Juventus are coming about for him. Now, initially, Juventus said they are going to sell Vlahovic before they can be able to complete the deal for Lukaku. Now, something emanated according to Fabrizio Romano. He said that Chelsea and Juventus, they are kind of looking at a swap deal to favor each team. Now, Vlahovic, Chelsea, they are now looking at, okay, if this is going to be an escape route for them to be able to sell Lukaku out of the team, because Lukaku is more or less like a virus to the entire Chelsea team. Could it be that this is actually an opportunity we should have harvested? Now, Chelsea, they are looking about the Vlahovic deal internally, and they are trying to see if it is possible that they should be able to go in for it. Now, one thing that Chelsea needs to still consider is that they don't have Europe competition to play for next season. Or is it that Pochettino is not planning of using Nkunku to play in the striking position? But that's actually one position he was able to strive more in the course of the preseason. Or is it that he's just planning to stick Nkunku in the number 10 role? Well, Pochettino is actually a good headache for him. Let's see how the team unfolds. But one problem about this swap deal is that you can't be able to tell the true value of the player, because one may decide to undervalue this player and the other one may decide to overrate the value he's going to put on the player. But let's watch out for that space and see how it goes. Now, let's talk about another thing, and that is with respect to Ousmane Dembele. Now, this lad has said yes to PSG. Now, I want to understand, PSG, they've not been able to end the saga with Mbappe. Now, but one thing I love about PSG is that they are gradually phasing off those high-profile signings that they have been doing before, because they thought that signing those big-name players will actually give them opportunity to win the Champions League. But now they've brought themselves down to earth to see that yes, it's not necessarily that you've been able to acquire those volume of signing will actually give you an edge when in the Europe competition. Yes, those things are important, but one other thing that is also important is how collective is the group, how J are they, because the Champions League competition is actually a very, very tedious one. That's where you see the big name teams, they actually want to showcase how good they are. In the course of this Champions League, we will see definitely how it unfold. But that's actually that for Moussa Dembele. They've actually offered him a 5 year contract, but Paris Saint-Germain and Barcelona, they are locked in discussion to know exactly what's the best value that they are going to pay for this player. So that is actually a summary of the various transfers that occurred in the course of the weekend. Now, Chelsea fans, I will actually want to hear your comment with regards to all of these various targets and the signing you guys have completed, because Paul said he needs an experienced, and after the game against Fulham, that he needs an experience. Is actually going to shrink his team, and in the course of the transfer window, they are going to look if an opportunity for a different profile of a striker popped up that they may consider. Could Vlahovic be the striker that he's actually talking about, that is actually going to consider? Well, I want to hear your comments. Come on, let's go.